All right, got another one for you from Miss Complicated channel. This subject is pay for play the solution in for modern dating here in the United States? This is fair use. Shout out to It's Complicated channel. Let's get it.
Many women today who say they don't need a man.
I mean, because if they want to go 50-50 on things, I just don't need them.
Because there's a lot of bum-ass men out in the world who don't do enough, so us women can supply for ourselves now.
Because they're feminists and they like to be feminists.
If a man has friends, doesn't want kids, hires a maid and hires a prostitute, why would a man need a woman?
Good question.
I don't know how to answer this question.
Because of human connection, of meaningful connection, to correct myself. Just there's nothing that replaces the authenticity of a partnership.
Right. There you go.
So if there's nothing that replaces the authenticity of a partnership, why do they advocate for more women to, not be in relationships and just go do their own thing and be Miss Independent?
Men need women in a sense because, I don't know, like they need our love.
What love?
You know what I mean?
True. You can't really get true intimacy with a prostitute. You can bust a nut, but that's about it.
Now, that's the whole point of her even being there.
Why do women proudly chant, pussy runs the world, but then also complain guys only want sex?
I don't know why they complain about that, but pussy definitely runs the world. You can make a
No, it doesn't.
man do a lot of things.
Does pussy actually run the world, or does it just control the men who built and maintain the world?
You know what? I feel attacked by that.
Oh, she didn't want to answer that question. Y'all see that? That debunked everything she just said.
Statement.
Because men cannot live without sex. And it really does run the world.
No, it just helps keep, sex is the main thing that keeps the human race going. It doesn't necessarily, I wouldn't say it runs the world at all, to be honest with you.
I think it only controls weak men. I don't think he runs any strong men. In fact, the men that rule the world, he bends for them. You know what I mean? They, don't control a strong man. A strong man can replace the woman.
Boom. I like what this guy said. He makes 100% sense with that one. Like, so I agree. Like a weak man is going to be controlled by sex. He's going to be moved by sex. And if a man has his head together and everything like that, he's not gonna be easily moved by that. He's gonna move on his time and on his. It's gonna be his way or the highway.
Women rule the world, but
No, you don't.
she just manages it.
Do you think there was ever a time when pussy didn't run the world?
No. Women's always been the neck of the foundation. The men is just the head. We draw shit.
Like what? Like that's the follow up question I would ask her. Like, what exactly? Like, I'm the type to ask follow up questions. What exactly do you draw up? Like, I really want to know that.
Wouldn't that mean women always had power?
Yes. But men cannot accept women having power, so we just have to stand in the back and pretend that we don't have power and use a reverse psychology and just like pretend that we don't, because they like to say they.
Yeah, she's had a few. I can tell she's like slurring her words slightly. So I'm taking everything she's saying with a grain of salt.
Right. So we just like, all right, and give you the idea, and then you just say, yeah, it's your idea. Okay.
So why are women complaining about past oppression if they always had pussy power?
They want equal rights, and that's bullshit.
Personally, I just think they kind of like are backwards in their reasoning on most things. You know what I mean? They want to feel a certain amount of power, and that's the only thing that they can kind of reach to say that they have this power over males. So,
do you think there was ever a time?
Yeah, because the idea of women having power now is like it's really a trick bag, if you ask me, to have them have this false sense of power over men when they really don't. Men still, for the most part, are keeping things going. Since most men are doing the tough jobs that keep society going. And, that just leaves the door. Now, the women are working now, there's easier jobs for them to do. But for the most part, men are still doing the rough jobs to keep things going, like trucking and construction, building buildings, things like that.
Time when pussy didn't run the world?
Probably not, no.
Wouldn't that mean that women always had power?
Yeah, they definitely did, but we just make men do all the, hard labor work.
No, they don't make men do any hard labor work. a lot of men willingly do the work because it needs to be done.
Women say they want equal rights, but then when a man talks to them the way they talk to another man, then they say, "Oh, you're offending me," or "Oh, you're doing this." But if you want equal rights and you want to be treated equally, then it has to be like always. Like it can't just be like, "Oh, I'm gonna put my hand on a man," and then like when he does it back, like, "Oh, I'm a woman." But you want equal rights, or you want to like put yourself in a man position.
Okay, I'll give her credit for understanding that particular point. But what she said earlier was like, nah, I wasn't digging that. But this right here, she's right on the money.
But then you don't want like the actions to come, but only actions you want is beneficial actions.
How many female-dominated industries can you think of that aren't related to sex or beauty?
0.
Not a lot, and that should change. Society.
It's not gonna.
It's set up for that.
How do we change that?
Great question.
Every time they come with that great question answer after you ask a real good question that'll actually debunk whatever nonsense they're saying, they'll always respond with great question, like every single time.
Let women take over. Change the mindsets.
How many female-dominated industries can you think of that aren't related to sex or beauty?
Again, 0.
Christina Aguilera. She is my idol. Janis Joplin. She's my idol. I am a singer-songwriter, and they have never based sex off of their career because they're so talented to do that.
Ugh.
How many female-dominated industries can you think of that aren't related to sex or beauty?
Not one. Not one.
Thank you. This guy, he might be the smartest guy out of everyone he's interviewing on this video. Like, real shit.
Are men more likely to use power to get sex, or are women more likely to use sex to get power?
Sex to get power.
Ooh. I think women are more likely to use sex to get power.
Boom, call it.
What is the difference between sexually empowering women versus sexually objectifying women?
I personally don't think there is a difference. I think those are the same thing, one and the same. I think they basically are. It's almost like if someone's using reverse psychology on you, like they want to be able to use your sexuality to advertise things. They want to be able to use your sexuality for whatever purpose that they twist the woman into. All they have to do is, it's kind of like in the Bible. They said, no, you should want to be like God, or the serpent said you could be like God. The woman falls into that very easily. So,
yeah, I mean, what he's saying is basically sex has always sold throughout history. Ever since, like, even like slightly before the sexual revolution, like beautiful women, really good looking women can sell a product. If you have a product you want to sell, like if you look at most commercials for like a lot of items, like you'll usually have a, decent looking or very attractive looking woman on there to kind of draw you in and be like, hey, I want to buy this product too, because throughout history, it's always worked.
Her head gets blown up, call it empowerment, and she'll do whatever she thinks is empowering.
So isn't it entirely subjective?
Yes, all of it.
Do you think the sexual empowerment of women in any way contributes to their own objectification?
Yes. I think it's all a trick to take advantage of them.
Most female-dominated.
Facts, because like to complain about men objectifying women, yet women objectify themselves to men in order to make money off men. Like, okay, so which is it? If you really hate the objectification, then you wouldn't willingly objectify yourself. I mean, but what do I know?
Industries are sex or beauty related, correct?
Yeah, that's the way things are right now. That should change.
Well, right, but why would women want to give up their power if they can use it to,
Because it shouldn't be the only power that we're able to hold in society.
Well, whether it should
When you don't give women a fair chance to gain power, they're going to do whatever it takes.
Well, is there anything?
There's no such thing as a fair chance to gain power. Like, power has always been taken, not given.
Stopping women from getting power any other way?
Yes, men.
Well, I mean, but men also give women their power, correct?
Not enough of it.
Well, obviously, if all
Not
the men,
in the ways it matters.
If all the men in the world were gay, how would women get power?
Because they're fucking women.
What does that mean?
They're strong and better than men.
Well, right.
She's not making any sense right now.
But I'm saying if women couldn't use sex to control men, then how would they get power?
Skip.
Yeah, of course. Her drunk ass could not answer that question.
Women are more likely to use sex to get power.
What is the difference between sexually empowering women versus sexually objectifying women?
Okay, sexually empowering women would definitely mean like uplifting and like complimenting, like, "Ooh, girl, you look good," but not too close, you know, because it could easily be turned into, "Ooh, girl, you look too good." That's a whole ass snack, and then now that's harassment. So there's a fine line in between the two.
Well, isn't it entirely subjective?
Subjective to your own intentions, yes. Like, so maybe your tone of voice or your implication in the fact, or however you were trying to come off at the matter, you know. So I think.
So yes, it is basically subjective, and it's whatever she determines it to be, and whatever she thinks. You know, it all depends on the guy. If she thinks she kind of dates the guy, she probably won't mind. You know, that dude flirt with her. But if you're just some rando on the street and she's not feeling you like that, she's gonna look at that differently every single time.
I think it all has to do with the subject to intention, right?
Men don't have a say in women's sex life.
Do you think the sexual empowerment of women in any way contributes to their own objectification?
No.
Of course.
Does the fact that porn and OnlyFans exist prove that women are okay being objectified as long as they're getting paid?
No.
Yes, it does.
It means that we can use our body the way that we want to without men's control.
So she basically answered the question. That's basically yes.
Do you consider sex work to be real work?
Yes. Yes. And if you don't, you suck.
Why are women more accepting of women who can sell sex, but are less likely to accept a man who can buy it?
Because it's empowering to be able to do what you want with your body when you want to be able to do it.
But isn't that like shaming your own customer?
Why are they smiling so hard, bro? And I think this chick has had a few. They look like they've both been drinking, if you ask me. But let's continue.
No.
Well, how can you be a victim of your own product?
Because it's my fucking body.
My body, my choice.
My body, my choice.
Why do women often claim
Oh, my
victimhood
God.
by the very thing they use to empower themselves?
I believe in that question. I do believe that women do that Me Too shit, and I don't believe in that. Like you say you want to like empower yourself and then use this as like, you know, like a beneficial factor, but then you claim victim, and I think it's just a money aspect.
Does the fact that porn and OnlyFans exist prove that women are okay being objectified as long as they're getting paid?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you consider sex work to be real work?
No. Well, yeah. For
She's like, you know what? Yeah, come on.
porn stars and OnlyFans, because they get that dough. They're millionaires off OnlyFans.
Why is porn legal but prostitution isn't?
Tell me that. Why? And tell me this. Why can you go out and have sex with 20 million men for free and then nothing happens? But as soon as you want to put a price on your worth, it's illegal. Hello. That's the question.
Do you believe all adults have sexual needs?
Of course.
Of course, you couldn't
Buy
live
a
life.
vibrator.
You could not live life without sex. It's
Should
impossible.
lonely men be expected to satisfy their sexual needs by watching porn?
Yes and no. If they're really desperate, then yes. But if they can wait for a woman, then they should not watch porn.
They can if that's what they want, then I think that it should go that way, or buy prostitutes.
If so, why would men still crave sex when porn is free and available all over the internet?
Because you don't get you know how long it takes for you to find the right porn.
Because women don't
Wow.
understand that men actually are more horny than women themselves. And they actually need a sex life, otherwise they cannot function at all. And I know that because I've had like ex-boyfriends that cannot live without sex.
Can she live without sex? I would have asked her that question.
Do you consider sex work to be real work?
Not really, no.
But do you think most women consider sex work to be real work?
Yeah, the empowerment thing, trying to, make it sound like it's more than it is so that they could feel good about it kind of thing. But I don't believe it is real work at all.
Why are women more accepting of women who can sell sex, but are less likely to accept a man who can buy it?
Ooh, that's a good question. More double standards. It's just they don't like reality very much.
Isn't that shaming your own customers?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
That makes sense because, like, if you're a chick that sells it and then you look down on the person that buys it, that doesn't even make sense. Like, I thought the whole point of her doing that is for her to make a dollar. Like, but you look down on the person that's buying it from you. It's a lot of mental gymnastics, if you ask me. But let's continue.
Isn't that like complaining about crackheads while you're selling crack?
Exactly the same. Yeah.
Boom. That hit the nail on the head right there. I like that analogy.
If prostitution was legal, do you think we'd have a better society?
Ooh. Not really, to be honest with you. I can't say I think we'd be better as a society at all. Not really.
I don't know about here in America, but I heard in other countries. I think in Amsterdam, Holland, I think it's legal over there 100%. And I don't know if things have gotten better for it or worse or anything like that, but here in America, I don't know how much better or worse things would get until it actually happens. That's just my humble opinion. Until it actually happens, I don't know if that'll happen in my lifetime for me to actually witness that and see what the effects would be. Well, if they decide not to do it, it is what it is. I don't really care either way, but the only way I can personally really give an honest opinion on that is if the powers that be really put it into action and actually see what the effects are.
Yes, I do consider sex work is real work. We're the work of all time. We're going to last longer than any other industry. We've been here all before, okay? And we're still going to be here. When computers and everything take over, they're still going to want a physical woman to get it done, okay? We're going to be here.
If prostitution was legal, do you think we'd have a better society?
Yes.
Why?
Everybody would be happy.
Honestly, no, because I think we need to go back to old school values more so than this like do you boo boo type of thing that's going on. I think it's more important to.
If we really went back to old school values, a lot of what women would be able to do now, old school values, it would get rid of a lot of the privileges women would have today that they fought so hard for, quote unquote. But I digress.
Re-register ourselves with old school values, being committed, and making that investment into each other and making that commitment, because it's scary, yeah, but it means something. It means a lot more.
Do you think the solution could be prostitution, the world's oldest institution?
Yeah. I don't see anything wrong with prostitution as long as it's consensual, legal, and safe.
I think the solution is always prostitution, but it's a way of saying like that, because not prostitution is sex work. Because prostitution is it's like a derogatory term, and it's meant to like say like people on the corner or like a less than person. Sex work is more like therapy, spending time, not just like that, because it's not always that. It's more to, we're more than just that.
Well, what about when it's like done, in brothels as opposed to streetwalkers?
No, okay, so that's when they can put a price on it, and that's when it's okay. But it's like, you're not gonna tax me for my body. Like, how dare you try to tax me, or like I have to pay for your service? Like, and I'm the one doing the service. Like, no, I do not believe in that. Like, no, how can you tax us for something that's done for free every fucking day? No.
Wouldn't relationships be built on love rather than sex and manipulation?
I think that the opposite would happen if prostitution was legalized.
Well, if a guy could get sex anytime he wanted, really easily, why would he need to be in a relationship for any reason other than love?
Good question.
Because if you're in a relationship for love, you should be able to get sex anytime you want to and not find it elsewhere.
I don't think any of the relationships are built on love anyway. Like, I think all of this is a big excuse. Like, we're making excuses just to go about this daily dance.
Wouldn't women be more accountable and make more effort to create loving relationships?
Yes, I believe so.
Wouldn't it remove any legal liabilities for men trying to get sex?
Yes.
Wouldn't it remove the possibility of rejection?
Yeah.
Wouldn't men be more fulfilled and less angry and violent?
Yes.
Wouldn't it be government regulated and generate tax revenue?
Yeah, like I heard in certain places near Nevada and near in Las Vegas where they actually making tax money off of it. Hey, people gonna do it regardless. It's just gonna happen.
So can you think of any reasons not to legalize it?
No.
Do you think if prostitution was cheap and accessible, we'd have a better society?
Yes.
Yes. And safe.
Safer society, because it would be included in law and protected by law.
So, don't women often look for sugar daddies and men often look for trophy wives?
Yes.
Don't women often look for sugar daddies and men look for trophy wives?
Yes.
Do you believe it's generally true men objectify women sexually while women objectify men financially?
Absolutely.
Isn't it generally true?
It's crazy how there's always a talk about men objectifying women sexually, but women always objectify men financially, but it's like an open secret. No one really wants to talk about the other side because objectification works both ways. It's not just sexual,
That men seek the hottest woman they can afford while women seek the richest man they can attract?
Definitely.
Don't men want trophy wives and women want sugar daddies?
That's the game.
So how is dating not just a loose form of prostitution?
That's all it is. It's prostitution in slow motion, low key.
I mean, that's where dating and courting originated from way back in the day. If you do your homework on that.
So then, why would it be bad to legalize it if it's already happening?
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, you got me on that one, I guess. Yeah.
If I were to answer that question, I would be like, I think a lot of the law enforcement around the country are making a lot of money busting people for that, and they probably don't see much reason to legalize it if they can't bust people and make money off people, off of busting people for getting caught in that act. It's like the main reason I probably won't see marijuana legalized countrywide or nationwide because the laws that the powers that be, they're making too much money off locking people up for it. Right now, it's like, why would they legalize it?
Why should men pay for the opportunity to maybe get sex instead of just paying for sex?
I know. Go with the sure thing. I would go with the sure thing instead of taking a woman out and spending $200 on dinner. Might as well just give her that $200 and get to it.
You're paying for the time and the woman's worth. You're not paying for an action or a transaction.
But wouldn't the market...
Like, most relationships between men and women are transactional. Like, point blank, period.
...place determine what the woman's worth is?
No, the woman determines her worth.
Well, she can ask a certain price, but...
Yeah, she can ask, and if he feels that she's valuable enough, then he will supply that demand.
Wouldn't it end simping and shift the sexual marketplace to where women have to compete for the men?
I guess I don't really see how it does that.
Well, why should men pay for the opportunity to get sex instead of just paying for sex?
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. Yeah, it kind of swaps some power around a bit. I can see that.
Wouldn't it also flood the market and drive the prices down?
No.
Well, obviously, if you had just like an influx of women selling sex, there'd be a greater supply, right?
But who's to say there would be an influx?
Well, obviously, look how many women are doing OnlyFans right now.
Right.
So I'm just saying, like, obviously, if
OnlyFans and prostitution is not the same thing.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Just stop it.
For sex and selling your body, not for sex, are two totally different things. However, a woman should be able to do whatever she wants with her body, just like a man can.
So lastly, do you think if prostitution was cheap...
That's them cheesing that hard is really annoying the hell out of me.
...and accessible, there'd be less rape and sexual violence?
Yes.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but I think if men...
So which is it?
...men could be able to get it up a little bit more for women that are willing, there would be a lot less crime.
Do you think that grape is about sex or about power?
Power. Power and control.
So if grape isn't about sex, if it's all about power, why wouldn't evil men just assault women and not bother having sex with them?
But some do.
Right, but isn't it really all about power and also sex?
No, I feel like it's more about power and control, and like that you took something like that is just priceless, but you have that, like, that you did that and that you violate that person in that way, that you have some type of like that you have that over that person, like.
Right, but I mean, like, whenever a guy would get robbed or mugged or beat up and stuff,
It's
why don't they have sex with
that's
men?
a valuable. That's like materialistic stuff. But when you like put a price on that, and then it still get taken as like you're not only robbing me, but you're violating and doing that also. So it's like a combine of like violations.
Wouldn't men be more fulfilled and less angry and violent?
Yes.
Do you think there would be less rape and sexual assault?
Yes.
In some cases, men see someone who is a prostitute.
Okay, there could be less youth rape and SA, or if they legalize prostitution. In theory, again, I don't know. I'd have to look into that in places around the world where it's already legal and look at some stats to kind of confirm if that'll really happen. But if some of you already know this, let me know in the comment section down below, and please educate me. I'm willing to listen.
As a way to take out their frustrations because they're paying her.
Sure, but I mean, if it was done safely with brothels and regulated, then wouldn't that be less likely to happen?
Possibly not. It depends on how well the brothel is run as a business.
But I'm saying, I mean, why would that be any more likely to happen than, in just any normal monogamous relationship?
Very good point.
If you are putting a profit on it or you're not, there's always that sick individual that's still going to want to just take what's not theirs, even if it has a price on it.
I don't think it would eliminate it entirely, but you don't even think that it might even reduce the numbers? No. Wouldn't men be more fulfilled and less angry and violent?
Probably, that's possible, yeah.
Do you think there would be less rape and sexual assault?
I think people are always going to do that off of some seeking power over someone else sort of thing. But yeah, if anyone who's been graping out of desperation, I think absolutely you have a solution there. But
don't you think it would reduce it at least?
Yeah, I mean, you would have an impact on some numbers, but yeah, you're always going to have somebody, like I said, trying to exercise power.
Now, this was a really good episode, I ain't gonna lie. I think, hold on, get up out of here. So honestly, again, really good episode. And my overall final thoughts is this: if was more women becoming pros the solution? It possibly could in theory, but I personally don't know myself until the powers that be decide to legalize it. And I could actually see this happen right in front of me, for one thing. And I know in other countries they're probably it's already legalized there. But for those of you who live in other countries where it's legal, let me know in the comment section below some numbers on things that they had mentioned in this video earlier. But I see why they call it's complicated, because a lot of this stuff is complicated because people really don't talk about this often. These are the conversations that need to be had more often, so we can finally come to some common ground. But anyways, that's all I got to say about this video. I apologize for this being so long, but it is what it is. Like the video, comment down below, subscribe, and I'm out.